We are back and we are visiting with Lisa Miladinovich. She is the owner of Ain't Seen Nothin Yet, a pink buckle stallion. Lisa, we have so much to cover. Your stud is absolutely one of the hottest commodities in the industry right now. Tell us a little bit of his backstory, your and his backstory together.
I bought him when he was a weanling, so I'd been looking for a stud. I think I've told a lot of people this for quite a few years, probably 7 or 8 years, and I just couldn't find kind of what I wanted, and he kind of came across the internet when he was a weanling, and he was in West Virginia, and we bought him, and I was going to fraterity him. He was going to be my fraterity present to myself whenever I was out of college. And then he got hurt. Of course, he fractured his hock at a young age, and that ended up ending his career. Even though I did ride him and train on him, which I probably shouldn't have, hindsight 2020. But I do know that getting on him and riding him and training him was probably the best thing because he was so easy and trainable, and I do feel like he passes that along to his babies time and time again. So, but no, honestly, I was still in college, it's, you don't know what you're doing, you have a path and you're like, you think you know what you're doing, and, he got hurt. So then we dived into the stud end of it, and I guess here we are. I mean, that's, I guess, the short version of it. I mean, I don't know. He's just been such a blessing in our family, and I never ever dreamed that we'd be where we are with him now. I mean, it's exciting, and I've always believed in him. I've never doubted him for a minute, but it's a whole different level. So,
what did you see in him when you saw him on the internet that day when that picture came across your screen? What did you see in him then that we're all getting to see in him and his colts now?
I used to judge horse conformation whenever I was younger. My mom made us kids do that just so that we could understand how a horse should be built and work and form to function and all that fun stuff. And I really wanted, nice legs. I mean, not parrot mouth, of course. The thirds, how a horse is built, they should be a third, a third, a third. He just measured out really well, even though he was young and kind of gangly looking. You could just see the structure in the horse, and I was like, he might not look the best right now, but I really do think he's going to mature out to something that I'm really going to like. And I requested more pictures and videos, of course, because I wanted to make sure he didn't have anything that I wasn't looking for. And they sent me him, and I sent a deposit. And the rest was history. We shipped him out from West Virginia to Wyoming at the time. So he was kind of a cocky individual, but he still kind of is to this day. And that's probably why he's so goofy and fun, and he does pass that along, like I said, to his babies pretty strong. So, yeah.
That's such a wonderful story. It's one of my favorites. What do you notice in his colts? What traits does he consistently pass along?
Well, it's kind of interesting because, we've raised quite a few babies out of him, out of mares that are more fractious-minded or mares that are pretty good to be around. And just time and time again, I joke with my clients and my foal owners, don't over mess with them when they're babies, because they just like people usually. They gravitate towards you. So by the time you throw a halter on them, they're so easy to be around that, you don't have to fight them. You don't have to, everything's just so simple. So right now on my property, I have mares that are on polar end of the spectrum, on good, bad, but I still love them all, but I'm always praying. I'm like, please be like Ain't Seen Nothin Yet, and every time he's come through for me. I don't know. He's just so special. And, I've owned a stud before that wasn't dominant. I have, so I think there's something just super special about him. I don't know what it is, but he does really come out a lot in his babies. So easy to be around, train easy. They are goofy. I mean, if you don't like, a clown is kind of how I describe them, They're always untying stuff or trying to open a gate or, Ain't Seen Nothin Yet used to pull my downspout off of the barn and run around with it. So it's just never ending shenanigans. So, but I wouldn't change it for anything, honestly.
We're so thrilled for your success. Happy to have him as part of the program. Any final words that you want to share with folks if they're considering him for their mare?
I've had a lot of people stop by wanting to book. We have a list or a form on my Facebook page, or I can email it or send it to people if they want to fill one out. But right now we're just more concentrated on going through rebreeds and making sure our mare owners are taken care of that have previously bred to him before we send out contracts. I'm big on confirmation, so that's why I request pictures of people that want to breed to him. I always have. It's not something new. I want to know about your mares. I just don't want you to sign a contract and not me not knowing anything about them. So if that's a problem, well, that's going to be a problem, but I just don't. I'm invested in this horse. He's like my family. So we want to make sure we're making smart decisions of breeding what's best for him, and also kind of reaching out to the people that maybe have not been able to breed to him before. So that's one of the reasons that we kind of did a jot form this year. I know I've skipped over a lot of people in the past, and I don't like doing that. It's not fun for me as a stallion owner. So we are really trying to be fair and giving everybody equal opportunity to own one of his babies, because they are fun, they are exciting, and we want people to be able to enjoy his babies. So it's not like we're trying to single people out, but we are to the point where we have to be selective, and we are just trying to be fair about it. So please be kind to us.
Yes, very well said. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your time here at Pink Buckle, and again, have a great week.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Okay, back to the barrel racing.